Welcome back everyone. Okay, this is a video like I said in the previous one where I'll be showing what you get in the box, and I'll be showing each part and where it must be fixed, because there are a couple of bubbles, reverse bubbles. In other words, these bubbles were in the mold and not from the mold, from the casting process. So I'll show you where to sand them down and just the basic parts and how it fits together. But I think I'll do the fitting together in the next one. I'll show more or less how it fits together, and then I'll prepare all the parts and I'll come back and do another video on fitting. Okay, so what you'll get is a chassis. Okay, this is the main part where everything fits onto. So you get these two main pontoons, or the two side engines, and they have two holes in the sides, okay, for the wings, and these slip over these square bits that come out. Now you see in these parts in the back on both of them, and there's a bubble in each one. Okay, these need to be sanded out so that the engines fit in. Okay, these weren't bubbles from the casting process; they were bubbles in the mold itself, because it was not a very easy mold to make. Okay, now these parts are clear, nothing there. Over there's a bubble on the inside of the main middle section, but that's actually not. You don't need to take it out. And this one also has one. Okay. So I'll whip away from the back to the front. So actually this is the middle, but let's go to the back. So you have your engines next. Okay, they come in two parts each. So they are basically made to slip into the rear end of the these main pontoons. Okay, pontoon as a rubber duck. Okay, engines. Okay, so they slide in. They are smooth around the edges. And if there are bubbles on the inside of these, they not really matter, because it is closed off area. And you see on this one here, you might get some of the parts that are not filled properly with resin. These two do. That does not matter, okay, because this gets closed up with the rear end of the engine. And you see the line up, it's got a flat end like that. It hides it all away. Okay, now for lighting purposes, there's a little bit of a hole on the inside, on the back. You can drill a hole through there and through this one. Okay, but the whole thing seals up. Okay, like here there's a slight bubble that can be filled up very easily. Okay, that's from the casting process. I do pressure cast, but there's still always a possibility of minute bubbles. Okay, this one also hidden away. You can actually design them to slide in and hold tight. You can do that by putting putty around the edge, thickening it, but they sit pretty loose over here. Okay, so the next section is these two joining bits, and they work in conjunction with the central engine part. There are these over here. So you'll see that on this one there is a seam mark around the edge. This one here, you don't really see it. Okay, so on this one, where this fits onto the main body, there's a bubble on the inside of this hole on the one side. Okay, that needs to be sanded out. You can use your Dremel. Okay, what I do is I use my Dremel with a small sanding tip like that. Okay, seems to work quite well, and then a very sharp file. Okay, so on this one, the rear ends, there's nothing. Doesn't matter if they were, because this gets closed up. Okay, these are the joining parts. Okay, they got no bubbles on them. So what happens is these actually go in between the two. Okay, so this goes in and then this goes onto it, making it part of the engine. Okay, so moving forward, your next ones are your engine tips or nose, and these are pretty clear, no bubbles that I can see. If you do find one in this area, you need to clear it out. Okay, this area, it does not matter. Okay, and these, as you can obviously see, go on to the end of this bit. Okay, they do line up a specific way. I will show when I do the fitting how they actually fit on. Okay, so that's the engine's done. Let's do the wings. So that's your horizontal wings. Okay, now all of these need to be prepared and sanded before you actually give your first layer of paint. So I'm just going to just jump back to the what I showed in the beginning. Is on these main parts is your filling holes over here, your filling hole in the center. Just sand that down. Okay, the engines pretty much don't really need to be sanded. If you see a seam, okay, you see more if you paint your primer. Brings out the detail. Okay, this here as well. I said a seam just now as well, but smooth out the back. Okay, so on the horizontal wings, you got your fill holes and vent holes. So just sand that down. What you can do as well is, what I did with this, I've done it already, is I sanded the whole model down with 400 grit sandpaper. Where is it now? I used the sponge one. Okay, 400 grit, and then I went to 1000. Okay, that was after washing it. You need to wash these parts in hand wash detergent or dishwashing liquid. Throw it in lukewarm water and then leave it for a couple of minutes, and then use a brush or an old toothbrush and just wipe it down. Okay, else your glue won't stick from the mold release. Okay. Okay, these are your other wings. I suppose you can call it semi-horizontal. At the back again, you have your fill hole there and your vent on both of them. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the body section. So let's go from front to back again. So you got your lower section, okay, and then your top section fits into it. So this is made to slide into that gap. Okay, so you see on this one, the upper main body, is a huge fill hole over here. Now this part needs to fit in underneath this part. Okay, so this needs to be sanded down, and then the front smooth out, because this had the vent holes. And then you see there's also a drain pipe that was in over here. To just sand this out. Okay. There aren't really any seams on this one. Okay. Now this one, important bit, is this is part of the mold, unfortunately, is underneath this section there is a little bubble. Because I use a Dremel flat cutter and then just cut in underneath, or you can use a I suppose you could use a file, but I think it's probably easier using the Dremel to get in under there. I'll see when I get there. Okay, this one here also doesn't have any seam lines. Okay, but again, fill holes and vent holes. Okay, and the next one will be your rear upper section. So that's how it looks. Okay, again, yeah, your vent holes on it, there and there, so sand them down. Do all this before you paint. You won't waste your paint. This is the main fill hole, doesn't really matter, it's filled up this way. You can sand it down if you want. Okay, in your rear lower section, this one, you'll see there's your fill hole, sand it down, and just the rear section. Okay, you see this actually fits inside it. Okay, I'll show when I get to the fitting. Then you get your rear section. Okay, this doesn't have any. Okay, here's your vent holes over here. Over here you need to sand that down. Okay. Then you got your two seats. This is a seat from the Mark 7 Viper, which I changed recently. I'm using the same seats now. In the series, you never see the seat, so that's why I've used the seat. You got a choice. You can break the top off and sand it down, because you never see a headrest. So you want to be true to the series, cut this off, sand it down. If not, just leave it as is. Okay, this was a guess. I mean, like I said, you never see the seat. Okay, so next is your cockpit tub. Okay, so the main thing over here, this is a pull-out mold, which means I filled it up from the top. So you got a thick layer at the bottom over here of resin. So you'll see the line running along the edge. Okay, so it can take a lot of elbow grease and sanding. You can use a Dremel. Sand this down. It's important to get sanded down because it has to be flat enough for the top section to fit on top evenly. Okay. Then you got your final parts, your canopy and your, get the little parts right now. So you got your canopy over here, which consists of 3 parts. Okay, now if you get your canopy and it's slightly warped, don't worry. Resin tends to retake its original shape, so just dip it in semi hot water, like 80 degrees Celsius, boil water, and mix it 50-50 with cold water. Leave it in for like 10 seconds and then put it in, and then shape it. Try and shape it on the body of the model so it takes the shape. But the middle of your cockpit has this part which needs sanding around the edge. You see the line. Okay, this can be used as a guide to, unless it's bent, as a guide to the front canopy, and the same with the rear. Okay, sand it down, and that actually lines up. Okay, and then last but not least is your engine inserts. Okay, get 2 of them. I've got a spare. Okay, then they just need sanding from the back. Just sand the back down till it's smooth. Okay, for lighting, you do not need a clear bit. The lights can shine through the edge very easily. This is the cover for the landing gear, if you're going without landing gear and on the stand. Okay, landing gear is directly printed from a 3D printer. So that's how your landing gear looks. You see it's the same whole configuration as the closed cover. You got your main controls, which is tiny. Okay, and your joystick and your side controls. Okay, they're very small. I won't show them now until I get to the cockpit. And then the last 2 pieces is your decal sheet. Okay, which has everything on it and extras. Okay, mine is worn out slightly, I see now, but you can take that down as wear and tear on the actual flights. It flies around in the atmosphere or in space. And then your stand. Now this isn't the stand for the model, this is the original, which I need to prepare for molding. But this is how it looks. It's the Earth Directorate badge. Okay, so I think that's all for the parts. So I'm going to go now and I'm going to sand everything down, and then I'm going to give it 1 coat of primer, and then from there I'll see what needs more sanding, and then I'll sand those down if needed. And once I'm done with that and I can fit everything together, then I will come back, make another video and show you how it fits, and then from there I can go with the painting. And like I said before, I'm not going to go with white, I'm going with a yellowish color. I don't have a can on me now, but I think it might look more realistic. Okay, so until the next video, thanks a lot, bye.